Well, if you take a old-style Iroquoian pot, ceramic pot, a square lid, a neck that comes out, the shoulders, and this rounded body, which I just described as a pregnant female. That I think the pot itself has this connotations because it's made from the clay, which we're told. Here's one of those cultural metaphors that the clay is the flesh of Mother Earth. We are made of her clay, and that's us. So I would imagine, because this is what happens to me, when I then take that clay and reshape it into the pot, the clay has as much to say about what it's going to happen as I do, right? And sometimes even if you want it to do this, it wants to do this. So this interplay between you and the clay then to create this shape, that to me also looks like the universe with this flared opening up to the sky world, four corners of the four beings, of the four directions of the four winds. But more metaphysically, what do you do with the pot? Well, you fill it halfway with water, just like this world. You take this food, you take vegetables, you take meat, you put it together, and you cook, make a stew. They say up in the sky world that there was an old ceremony that took place where this young woman was suffering emotional distress from the loss of a loved one. She couldn't get over that. There was an old man who was guarding this tree, and he was having his own distress because he kept dreaming about this thing that he could never, it just bothered his soul. Anyway, they were brought together by the forces of the universe, and she carried with her a basket full of cornbread. And then he carried some boiled venison, or roasted venison. So when they met, they exchanged this, she exchanging this corn food, him exchanging this deer food, and it was a medicine for each other. As well as the fact they said they then developed affection for each other. They helped cure each other. So they were a medicine for each other. But this sets in pattern, in motion, our whole concept of what women are supposed to do. Planting, cultivating, preparing, and serving food to perpetuate life. Men out in the woods tracking, trapping, hunting, gathering, bringing that together. So this little ceramic pot is the whole universe, the concept of the universe, and then the act of doing that so that you and I can also have this tasty meal. So when you think about the loving care it would take to make this pot, and yet all the work I've done, I've been in most major museums in North America and studying this, you can't find two pots the same. They're similar, but they're not the same. Because there's this need also for our individuality expressed within the parameters of tradition. And so the pots were primarily made by women because their connection to the earth, their connection to the cooking, connection to the plants. And so it's a very beautiful thing. Now, when that process gets lost, I believe some of our identifiers get lost. It's hard to identify with Tupperware. So when you have this in your home, and then your children see you doing that, and they're eating from that, it provides a whole different kind of energy. So that when I hear people say, food is sacred, this is what they're talking about. This is sometimes even they haven't thought clearly the sacredness of food exchange in the sky world, coming down, get reformatted here in preparation, and then we eat this energy food. So the reason why we do our ceremonies and the reason why we're supposed to be planting or right now collecting the maple sap, it's all part of this master plan, but it's not a plan for robots. It's a plan for humans to then figure out where do we fit into this plan. And that's both the, to me, the satisfying element of being human, but it's also the most confounding thing, because we come up with such wacky ideas of where we fit in the plan, because we had this need also to be an individual within the plan.